Hey, what's up, folks? How you all doing? Today, we gotta finish harvesting the rest of our peas. We gotta rip out our pea plants from the garden bed. Then we gotta go ahead and clean up the garden bed and prep the soil. And then we're gonna be planting our next round of crops. Lots to do today, folks. Lots to do. So much to get done today out here on the homestead. But before we make our way over to the garden, we gotta take care of the ladies. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. They've only been up for about an hour. I think the door opened about an hour ago. They came outside. I don't know what they've been doing. I just got out here. But we need to get them fresh water. They need clean water. We got to add more feed to their feed bowl. I was out last night and I noticed it was a little low. So we just got to take care of them real quick. Then we can make our way over to garden bed, start doing all that fun stuff that we just talked about. And I'll be telling you what we're going to be growing here in a minute. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. How are we doing this morning, ladies? Esmeralda? Good? You're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna clean up your food and stuff. Give you guys some more food. So for the water, I'm just gonna dump it out a little bit. Swirl it around. I just cleaned their water thing probably like a couple days ago, like full clean. So we don't need to actually clean this out. I just want to dump some of the water out, get all the dirt out of there, and let all the new clean water go down so they have some clean drinking water to drink this morning. But we're gonna put this back in here. Excuse me, ladies, fresh water, clean water. Fresh water, clean water. Here, go get some feed to throw in this bucket here. I think everything else looks good. And then up here, we got the feed. This is their feed, so we'll bring this bag out here. I'll show you what I'm using real quick in case y'all haven't seen the feed that I use for my chickens before. It's called Vital. It's all in Spanish because I'm in Mexico. But I ordered this online because the feed store near me doesn't, they sell a chicken feed, but it's more for like roosters and stuff like that, where it's packed with protein and stuff. This has got all the essential nutrients and everything for laying hens. This is strictly for laying hens and the nutrients that they need to lay. Very good. I mean, it's a big old bag, 25 kilogram. This has lasted me months. I mean, I bought this probably, almost going on 6 months now probably. I bought this one bag, and I fill this bad boy up in here, and I let them go to town. And as it gets low, as you see, we're low. I just take some and I throw it in there. And this lasts me a long time. This bag is only, I don't know, it's not even 50 bucks for this bag. Not even like 50 bucks. I think it's about 50 bucks for this bag. Somewhere around there. So that's the feed that I give them. I also give them a lot of snacks throughout the day. A lot of the scraps that we don't eat from dinner and stuff, the chickens and the animals will get. I give them a grain every day at 4 o'clock. I come out and I give them a grain. It's packed with proteins and all that stuff, especially since it's winter. A little colder, and the grain is mixed with like corn, sunflower seeds, all that kind of stuff that's really good for the girls. And that's just a little snack. It's not their main feed. I just toss them a couple of handfuls out in the run every afternoon, and they love it. They go crazy. Let's get these girls fed. We get over to our garden bed. This is probably gonna be the last one. I might have to order a new bag after this. This looks like it might be the end of the run for this bag here. Get out of there. Get out of there. Dog trying to get some. I don't know what she wants. You just take this, put the rest of this bag up in here. That's all she wrote. Get this back in there so these girls can eat. All right, here we go out at the garden bed. This is our project today. Onions are doing great. As you can see, onions are doing awesome. It's gonna be a while before these gets done. If you remember in our last video, we were talking about that we want to try and kind of maybe make our own seasoning powders, something like that, start a new adventure. So a couple of our onions will be used for that. I'll probably do like half to try and make seasonings, half for the family, all that stuff. But we got a while for the onions to go. So I'm hoping that when we get this pea plant pulled out, we're gonna put probably lettuce in its place, and then on the other side over here, we're gonna do some garlic. I got some garlic bulbs. I'll show you that in a minute. We'll separate those into cloves, planted cloves. And apparently, I didn't know this at the time, but apparently the kind of peas I got, regular old garden peas, are like, they're like one and done. I guess they're one pump champs.
That's what she said.
And I mean, look at these little baby things. These are no good. I don't know if we really even have anything harvestable on here. I think everything, if there is any peas left on here, they're all gonna be like this. So I don't think we really actually need to harvest anything because there's nothing that I'm really gonna be able to keep. I mean, we got a ton of peas from this. I was able to fill a big old bowl of just straight peas. Man, wife has already been using them to cook. We've been eating them up. Yeah, apparently I didn't know that. The garden peas, they're one pump champs. One and done, that's it. They produce and then that's it. I thought these were the kind of peas that they just keep going. You produce and they keep going and they keep going. But apparently garden peas, regular old garden peas are one and done. They produce a bunch and that's it. So we're gonna rip these out, get something else in place. Maybe we'll do peas next year again, but I wanna do lettuce for sure. My wife wants to start making salads and stuff, so lettuce is a great choice for that. So we got some lettuce we're gonna plant, and we got some garlic we're gonna plant. But right now, we just need to get this out of the soil, and then prep the soil and the garden bed for our next round of crops here. What's cool about this is you can actually just cut right at soil level, and you can leave the roots in the bed to decompose, and that's free nitrogen. That's free fertilizer for your garden. All right, so I got my trusty, dusty clippers here. And all I'm gonna do, right at soil level, snip. Do it with all these, snip right at soil level. Let's come around here and see if I can get my hand up in there. Trying to figure out where that stem is. I think it's right there. Right about there, snip. Same down here, go from this side, I think. So we wanna get all these snipped here, right at soil level there. It looks like we got them all snipped. So now, we're gonna try and grab these and get them off of the trellis. So let's do that real quick. All right, so now that our peas are out, we gotta go ahead and clean up this bed here. We got a little bit of weedage, a little bit of stuff that we wanna get out real quick, get the soil prepped and ready. But I think I'm gonna wanna take these off. I mean, I'm not growing anything that needs a trellis right now. This side was for our tomatoes. That's our tomato trellis. And I use this to wrap around the tomato, if you guys remember that. But this, I don't want it to get in the way of the lettuce. I don't know how high they're gonna grow, anything like that. So I think right now, we wanna get this taken off of the garden bed. And then we can go ahead and prep the soil, get it ready, and then we'll go grab our lettuce seeds and our garlic bulbs, get those ready to plant. So in all honesty, there's really not a whole lot we got to do to this. I mean, the leaves are good to stay in. Honestly, a lot of this stuff is good to stay in. We just want to get most of these weeds out. Like these little things right here, we want to get most of those out. Little weeds and stuff like that. But like the leaves, that's good. That's all going to decompose. That's carbon right here. This carbon right here. So that's good. I got a lot of nitrogen in this soil already. And like I said, the roots from the pea plants that we left in here, that's going to slow decompose and that's going to be nitrogen. So we just want to get a lot of this, a lot of that out. Any little weeds, like right here, you can see like we got little weeds next to our onions here. We want to get those out. We want to be careful not to disturb the roots of our onions. You want loose soil. For what we're planting, onions, you know, your garlic, stuff like that, you want loose soil. You don't want it hard, compacted. You want loose soil. You want them to be able to breathe. So we just kind of break up the soil a little bit, get our hands in there, and that's really all we got to do. You know, make sure you don't got any weeds. If you got a garden bed like mine, you know, you're small scale right now. You just want to make sure you don't got any weeds or anything in there. Break up the soil where you're going to plant your new crops while trying to leave your current crops untouched as much as possible. So that's good right there. We got a lot of room to plant. Same with here. We're going to kind of break that up a little bit. You can see we're still very moist. Huh? Now that our soil is ready to go and plant, we got some lettuce seed, lechuga, because I'm in Mexico. Everything's in Spanish, but lettuce, lechuga. Lechuga is lettuce. Lechuga en español, lettuce in inglés. See? See? Bueno. Muy bien. That was your Spanish lesson for the day. We got some nice, good garlic bulbs here that will break apart into cloves, and we're gonna plant those as well. Garlic, onion, and lettuce are great crops to plant together. They all support each other, they all help each other. And there's a lot of benefits to planting these specific plants together. The fact that the garlic and onions will help the lettuce from pests. Lettuce will help shade the soil and keep it moist for the other crops. And the bed will stay productive all year round, no matter what. So there's always benefits to planting certain types of plants and crops next to each other. And these three specific ones will complement each other perfectly. Let's get them planted. All right, so for our lettuce, what kind of spacing do we need? How far down into the soil do we plant our seed? Well, what's cool about lettuce is you don't need to go too far down in the soil. Barely covered, you want the seed. About 1/4 of an inch into the soil. I can't open this. Open. Now spacing. You want to go about 6 to 8 inches apart from each seed if you want full big heads of lettuce. Or you could go a little closer if you just want like a lot of little baby greens. But for me, I want to try and get big old heads of lettuce. So what I'm going to do, got a couple seeds here, and I'm just going to grab a couple and I'm going to push them bad boys into the soil. And I'm talking like a thumbnail length. A thumbnail. So we did one here. Now we're going to go about 6 inches. So it looks like I'm going to be able to get about 3 per row. Now, of course, we're going to have to thin this, right? And that's how I plant in my garden bed, in my garden. I plant more than needed because not everything's going to germinate, right? You're going to get some that don't hit, or you're going to get some that just completely miss the mark, right? So I like to plant for more, right? And then when they start sprouting and they start growing up a little bit, I'll come and I'll start thinning out. I'll take out the weak, the langy ones, the frail ones, and the strong, nice, growing ones. Those are the ones that I'm going to keep. Now in my garden bed, I can probably get a solid 2 lettuce heads in this 1 square foot. That's good for me. That's good for me and my family. Well, we got our seeds planted now. We went about 1/4 inch into the soil and about 6 to 8 inches apart from each of the seeds. We can go ahead, move on to our garlic. Let's talk about what the garlic needs for depth and space. Generally for garlic, your little cloves, when you break the bulbs into the separate cloves, you want to go about 2 to 3 inches into the soil, depth-wise, for your garlic. 2 to 3 inches down into the soil, and that's where you're going to plant your garlic. What about spacing? For garlic, you're going to go about 4 to 6 inches. So 2 to 3 inches for depth, 4 to 6 inches apart for your spacing. Now, I've never done this before, but we got to take this garlic bulb here and somehow we got to break it into cloves somehow. And I think you want to keep the peel on. You want to keep that peel on too. I heard you also can do a knock, but I'm just going to lightly press with my fingers. As you can see, I'm going to just lightly press and hope that it starts coming apart. This is hard. I don't know. How do you break these apart, dude? Oh, there we go. I had to press just a little harder, I guess. Nah, I'm doing something wrong here. I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so I think I totally murdered that first one, but we got another one here. We're going to try. Here we go. There it is. There it is. All right, so we're going to take these bad boys. We're going to get them planted real quick. I think I did it right. I hope I did it right. We're going to find out. And now with your garlic, you want to keep the papery skin still on. You want to plant it with the papery skin still on and pointy side up. Remember, like I said, we're going to go 2 to 3 inches into the soil and about 4 to 6 inches apart. And then if you get ones like these, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see that this one already has the sprout starting to go. You can definitely still plant these. All that means is that this garlic clove is active and currently growing. So you're going to want to put this a little deeper down into the soil than you did with your regular cloves, since it's already sprouted and already active. Same spacing and all that, but this one's telling us, hey, I'm awake, I'm ready, get me in the ground right now. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this one in the ground a little bit deeper. We're going to go about 4 inches for this one. I think we got everything planted that we want planted. Remember, our garlic is mainly going to be a test run. First time I've ever grown garlic. Most of this garlic is going to be used to make the seasonings that I want to try and make. So we'll see how much of this stuff grows. We got everything planted. Everything is good. Now we're gonna go grab a little bit of compost, go get some of our worm castings, add that on here, and that is gonna be it for our bed. And all we gotta do is play the waiting game after that, wait for things to grow. All right, so I got a little bit of composted manure right here. I got some worm castings right here. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna do about a 1/4 inch of composted manure all across the bed. Not too much, but just enough, right? With the worm castings, we're gonna do about a handful per square foot. Just a light, natural fertilizer. This is all organic. We don't put no synthetic stuff in here. So we're gonna go ahead and put our composted manure, and all I'm gonna do for that is I'm just gonna take the bag and I'm gonna sprinkle. I'm just gonna do some sprinkling all over the bed here. Same right here where the garlic is. Gonna sprinkle some around the onions a little bit. Now we're just gonna take that, mix it in to the soil where we planted. Don't go too crazy because you already put your seeds in there. You don't want to mess anything up. Just a little mixy mix. We're gonna take our worm castings. Remember, like I said, just a handful will do you for the worm castings. This is optional. You don't have to do this. Worm casting is just optional, but it's a very, very good fertilizer for your garden bed. Composted manure and worm castings, they'll be your best friend. They'll be your best friend. You don't need much. So again, we're just gonna do a light sprinkle, a handful for each square foot, right? Do a little bit about around the onions because I don't think I've added any fertilizer or anything to these onions since our last round. I don't know how long you've been watching. If you're new here, we got many videos, many garden videos, DIYs, all that good stuff. But if you've been paying attention to the garden, this is already our second round of onions. These are gonna be the big ball onions. Before these ones, we did the little small ones. They were great, tasted so sweet. They were delicious. But I haven't added any fertilizer to this bed since the last round of crops that I had. So I don't need much right now, but since I'm putting some new crops in here, I'm gonna a little dab-a-do ya. We are good, we're planted, we got our fertilizers. Now all I wanna do is get a little bit of compost, top this off, and we're good to go. I mean, check this out, y'all. I mean, look at this compost. We've been working on this for a while. We're gonna go down to the bottom. Down here, I mean, obviously all the good stuff is going to be down on the bottom, but I mean, look at that. Look at that. That is just that is gold right there. This is all can be topsoil, all for your garden. Look at that. Look at that. A big old bin there. You know, and these are all everything's going to decompose. We got chicken poop in here, we got eggshells, we got fruits, veggies, cardboard, sticks, leaves. I got hay from the chickens. These are great composters, by the way. These guys will do a lot of compost work for you. All that bedding, everything in there, come springtime, will come out of here when we do a clean. Right now, we're doing the deep litter method for the girls. That way they stay warm. But come springtime, we'll clean all this out. It'll all go into here. And it's all going to make this black gold right here. It's going to make all that beautiful. There is so much fertilizer and nutrient, organic nutrient, natural made, nature made nutrients up in this bad boy. Golly, I mean, look at that. Look at that. You ain't getting no better than that. You ain't get that in the store. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting that in the store. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. So now, I'm just going to take a handful, hey? Just put a little bit over the top. Nothing crazy, right? We just want a light coat. And that's already wet, so this is going to keep this garden nice and moist. Just a nice little top layer. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. You know, just a nice little top layer over what we already planted. Planted our seeds. We added some composted manure. We added some worm castings. And we had a little bit of compost on the top. So yeah, I mean, that's where we're at, my friends. I'm, you know, first time homesteader, first generation, you know, learning this all on my own. You know, I can go out and do some research, but I got nobody mentoring me. This is just all trial and error, learning as we go. You know, I try to give you guys as much information as I can that I already know. But, you know, if there's things that you guys know or tips and tricks, definitely put it down in the comments. Let your friends know, man. Let us know. We're all in this together. No more. We don't gatekeep over here. That's the purpose of this channel, is teaching those out there who want to start this lifestyle but don't know what to do, don't know where to start, don't know where to go. I got you, my friends. I got you. We're all in this together. I'm learning too. We can all learn together. All right, so I'll teach you to the best of my ability that I can. But my main shtick for this channel, for everything, number one, growing food for my family, right? That's the main purpose. Number two, it's time to get back to the ways of old. Big man says, follow the ancient path. It will steer you right. And that's what we're doing. We're getting back to the basics. And I want to teach you out there that if you're unsure and don't know where to start, it's not that hard, my friend. It's quite simple. Build you a little garden bed. If you live in an apartment, build a vertical garden planter and just start growing some crops. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's true grit, true determination. That's what it's all about. So I'm so excited to see these crops grow. So excited to start this adventure into making our own seasonings, stuff like that. I can't wait. And I hope I can help teach you guys something along the way as well. We're on an adventure out here. We're just trying to learn this stuff as we go. So thank you all for tuning in to the channel. Thank you all for watching another video here on Mundo's Homestead Adventures. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.